A welfare state is a concept of government in which the state plays a key role in the protection and promotion of the social and economic well-being of its citizens. It is based on the principles of equality of opportunity, equitable distribution of wealth, and public responsibility for those unable to avail themselves of the minimal provisions for a good life. The general term may cover a variety of forms of economic and social organization. The sociologist T.H. Marshall described the modern welfare state as a distinctive combination of democracy, welfare, and capitalism. Modern welfare states include Germany, France, the Netherlands, as well as the Nordic countries such as Iceland, Sweden, Norway, Denmark, and Finland, which employ a system known as the Nordic model. Esping-Andersen classified the most developed welfare state systems into three categories: social democratic, conservative, and liberal. The welfare state involves a transfer of funds from the state to the services provided, as well as directly to individuals. It is funded through redistributionist taxation and is often referred to as a type of mixed economy. Such taxation usually includes a larger income tax for people with higher incomes, called a progressive tax. This helps to reduce the income gap between the rich and poor. Etymology. The German term Sozialstaat has been used since 1870 to describe state support programs devised by German Sozialpolitiker and implemented as part of Bismarck's conservative reforms. The literal English equivalent, social state, didn't catch on in Anglophone countries until the Second World War, when Anglican Archbishop William Temple, author of the book Christianity and the Social Order, popularized the concept using the phrase welfare state. Bishop Temple's use of welfare state has been connected to Benjamin Disraeli's 1845 novel Sybil, or The Two Nations, which speaks of the only duty of power, the social welfare of the people. At the time he wrote Sybil, Disraeli, later Prime Minister, belonged to Young England, a conservative group of youthful Tories who disagreed with how the Whig dealt with the conditions of the industrial poor. Members of Young England attempted to garner support among the privileged classes to assist the less fortunate, and to recognize the dignity of labor that they imagined had characterized England during the feudal Middle Ages. The Italian term Stato social reproduces the German term. The Swedish welfare state is called Folkhemmet, literally, the people home, and goes back to the 1936 Compromise, as well as another important contract made in 1938, between Swedish trade unions and large corporations. Even as the country is often rated comparably economically free, Sweden's mixed economy remains heavily influenced by the legal support and continual renegotiations of union contracts. A state-directed and locally municipally administered system of social security and a system of universal health care which is run by the more specialized and in theory more politically isolated county councils of Sweden. In Germany, the term Wohlfahrtsstaat, a direct translation of the English welfare state, is used to describe Sweden's social insurance arrangements. Spanish and many other languages employ an analogous term, estado del bienestar, literally, state of well-being. In Portuguese, two similar phrases exist: estado de bem-estar social, which means state of social well-being, and estado de providencia, providing state, denoting the state's mission to ensure the basic well-being of the citizenry. In Brazil, the concept is referred to as previdencia social, or social providence. Modern welfare programs are chiefly distinguished from earlier forms of poverty relief by their universal, comprehensive character. The institution of social insurance in Germany under Bismarck was an influential template. Some schemes were based largely in the development of autonomous, mutualist provision of benefits. Others were founded on state provision. In an influential essay, Citizenship and Social Class, British sociologist T.H. Marshall identified modern welfare states as a distinctive combination of democracy, welfare, and capitalism, arguing that citizenship must encompass access to social, as well as to political and civil rights. Examples of such states are Germany, all of the Nordic countries, the Netherlands, Uruguay and New Zealand, and the United Kingdom in the 1930s. Since that time, the term welfare state applies only to states where social rights are accompanied by civil and political rights. Changed attitudes in reaction to the worldwide Great Depression, which brought unemployment and misery to millions, were instrumental in the move to the welfare state in many countries. During the Great Depression, the welfare state was seen as a middle way between the extremes of communism on the left and unregulated laissez-faire capitalism on the right. In the period following World War II, many countries in Europe moved from partial or selective provision of social services to relatively comprehensive, cradle-to-grave coverage of the population. The activities of present-day welfare states extend to the provision of both cash welfare benefits and in-kind welfare services. Through these provisions, welfare states can affect the distribution of well-being and personal autonomy among the citizens, as well as influencing how the citizens consume and how they spend their time.